Welcome to this overview of threshold concepts and what I'm hoping to cover during the 45 minutes at IATEFL in Glasgow, during which I'm going to talk in particular about the vocabulary of management. In the 7 minutes or less available to me now, I'm hoping to give an overview of the content and some indication of the format that I hope to use to provide a basis for some online discussion. The genesis of this came from a presentation made at the University of Ulster by Professor Ray Land of the University of Strathclyde at a time when I was generating ideas for my IATEFL presentation. Threshold concepts encourage us to look at problematic areas where students of any subject may have difficulty and need to be encouraged to make progress through an aha moment to their subject area. In the presentation, I hope to give brief examples from professional English in use management, following the guidelines provided for presenters at IATEFL. At the end of this presentation, there's some reference to further support and information about threshold concepts at the UCL site hosted by Mick Flannery. This will of course be on the handout. So, what makes English difficult for foreign learners? For some it may be spelling, for others it may be grammar, or for example, irregular verbs. My particular interest is in the vocabulary of management, and I draw in particular on the work of Avril Coxhead in New Zealand and her use of headwords. My approach is influenced by the teaching methods espoused by John Haycraft, the lexical approach of Michael Lewis, and some of the practice material produced by Robert O'Neill. Having identified about 300 key headwords in management, I encourage students to manipulate them, finding others in the same family, such as manager, management, managerial. This has involved looking in detail at the English of management, and data has been drawn from many different sources, both academic and student assignments. I'm also interested in encouraging students to revisit the headwords and the manipulation through the identification of collocations, and in this I'm influenced by the work of Michael McCarthy. I also draw students' attention to the use of concordances, and recently have discovered the value to be had for teaching purposes from a website called JTW that is referenced later. Moving on, I can see how a broadly similar approach can be adopted in other areas of management and other areas of English, such as banking and financial English. And if it works for the English of management and financial English, might it also work in other areas? For example, are there opportunities to look for headwords, collocations and so on in legal English? And what about medical and nursing English? There may be opportunities there to look at how a similar approach can be beneficial, and I look forward to discussing options with you. To support the presentation, there's an online resource at Moodle with Arthur, which is free to access and will provide a discussion forum for those who share my interest in exploring the topic further. Finally, I draw attention to some resources that will be made available as a handout for those who want to explore this area further and examine the underpinning academic literature. And I thank you for your attention and will welcome an opportunity to discuss any queries, quibbles, questions and so on that you might have when we meet in the discussion forum at Moodle with Arthur.